on schedule. Turn your cell phones back on. Quickly, I
am important.
You are important. Your cell phone was just ringing?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now what you have to do, now that you've just turned your cell phone ringers on, if it rings, you must stand up during the middle of my presentation and declare that you are important. Because that's what cell phones are all about. So do not turn it back off. Leave it on. If I hear a phone ring, you must stand up and say, I am important, with conviction, okay? So, now that we have that rule readjusted, there is one goal. Usually people have like the top 5 strategies, what are my 4 goals, what is this, what is that? 1. Everyone remember one goal? Here it is. Keep energized and start doing something today. Even though technically you broke that into 2 sentences, that would be 2 goals. We're getting 1 goal. But leave energized and start doing something today. Okay? Everyone got that? Very easy. So now we're going to talk about a little bit about recruitment. Who's home? Or are you just making it rain? Stand up. Scout, I am important. So now, the big question about all this is why would I want to do that to interrupt my presentation? Again, it goes back to the hour and 15, 20-minute rule. No, but really, that's what happens all the time in all the meetings. You all have to get over it. No one's going to die if you don't answer the phone right then. I would like to thank the person who invented voicemail, and I would also like to hate the person that made BlackBerry required. So, I'm just saying. So, recruitment. What you got to think about for yourself is when you guys are the ones out there trying to recruit, the first thing you should think of, which I'm not going to have all the answers for, but we've got many answers in here. How were you recruited yourself? Either to your job or into HFTP. For those of you who would like to know how I was recruited, I'm going to tell you even if you didn't want to. There was this gentleman named Dr. LeBrew you may have just heard of this morning for your first time or read about. I was in his student chapter a couple years ago. And if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be as active and involved in HFTP originally. Also, one of my bosses named Chuck Starr, he was in HFTP. I'm going to show you a little trend here. My boss after that boss, which actually was Chuck again because he recruited me from the job I had in the Keys to Orlando. See this? You're getting a connection here that's really about your connections, about recruitment. And that's also how I got involved with HFTP. That's also right in step with how I get employed. I sent out to probably about 500 of my closest friends on LinkedIn and many other sources a little survey asking people about recruitment because I do not have all the answers, but the number one thing that almost everybody came back with in human resources, recruiters, accounting, IT, and sales and marketing, anything. Referrals, they're personal and inexpensive. So by the way you all raised your hands, I have probably been at least able to introduce myself to you and you to me. And eventually over the years, from session to session, we can email, we'll keep in touch, we'll be together on LinkedIn, we'll be Facebook friends, whatever. But it's all about referrals. It's all free. And you usually get the best people. Because I don't refer people that I don't trust it's going to give me a bad name. And personally, I like my career path, at least for now. So, another big thing is skills. They can be taught. Sometimes, especially actually where I work now, they're like, no, I really want someone with timeshare experience. And I'm the first one, coincidentally, all my people have that, but that's a total coincidence. That's not the main job specification. I almost prefer people who have less of this specific experience because I don't want them to bring the old habits from my competitor that I'm trying to untrain them. So it's not about that. You can teach these people the skills. You're hiring educated people or people with many years of experience. You need to hire and recruit for attitude, passion, and character. So there is lots of tools where you can test that, and you can take them online. You can work with human resources, et cetera, et cetera. But really, at the end of the day, is did they really jump out at you, not physically, but did they really jump out at you in the interview process? You need to be able to connect with somebody. And then you have to rely on their school that educated them and their experience that taught them the rest. Then you can just mold them into what you need. The next thing is to hire slowly but act quickly. So a lot of people are post the position, hurry up, we've got to hire them right away, because we're all dying, we've got too much work, too much this, but no. I say take your time, because you have to find the right person. If you can hire a temp to perm, and you can avoid the fees, do a temp. Most fees expire after 90 days. So if you were going to hire the person anyway, work with your temp agency to do that, figure out the cost you need, back out the benefits, pay their markup, and it all comes up to the same dollar value that you would have paid a person anyway, a base rate plus the benefit cost. So you all should be able to do the math to make your temp agency cost and how much you would have hired that person at come out the same. Try the person out for 90 days. So that's one of the tools. I've done it a couple of times. And sorry, Ben. That's what you get for coming. Ben was a temp in one of the previous places we worked, and that's exactly what we did. So, because most likely, if we weren't a temp that we were going to choose to continue on with, thank you for shopping. Let's get another one in, and you have that rotation. The other thing is Monster still works. The reason why I say that is because I was actually shocked at how many people actually applied. I got my job through Monster. I was actually very surprised because at least where I work, I never hear that. When I ask people from multiple states and multiple types of jobs, they said, I went on Monster.com and applied for a job. I'm shocked because you and 5,000 other people applied for the same job. But I've heard success stories. It still works. People are being hired. One other thing that most of you should be able to do, if you don't already have an employment section on your website for where you work, I highly recommend you can put one together. I now see them on YouTube. A little video camera, a little bit of time, you can put it on YouTube and send them a link of the job you're hiring for. Employment Human Resources.